Okay. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, cool. Finish and turn UI off. Nope, that messed everything up again. Yep, we're back to the good old scuff. Hey, you Bat Bunch. Been a hot minute. It is currently 1 a.m. I should not be awake. Haha. Jet lag. Haha. Haha. How's everyone? I literally just got off the plane. Literally. I literally just got off the plane. Oh, gross. My own voice. Literally, my flight landed at 8:50. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Yep. Yep. I was watching Mouse and got jump scared by your live thing. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I did not expect to stream, but honestly, at this point, I had like 20 hours of travel, but I slept for 10 of them. I slept too much on the plane, so now I am all out of whack. I feel well rested when I shouldn't be. So you actually get a nocturnal bat for once. So I figured, at first I was just like, no, we gotta be good. We can't stream. We can't, you know, do activities with light. And then I realized, I'm just antsy, and I need to get some energy out. And what usually gets a lot of my energy out? Talking. Well, no one's awake, so I don't have anyone to talk to. Alright, I can just go live and talk to a wall, and then people will see it later. But I can see that quite a few of you, quite a few of you aren't asleep, which is concerning to me. I thought I wasn't seeing the purple right on Discord. Nope, Kenny, this is probably the first time in probably 4 years that I have streamed this late. I streamed this late once for Japanese collab before, but then never again after that. But yeah, welcome on in, everyone. I kind of love that all my stuff was kind of ready to go, so I could just like hit live on a whim. I basically haven't really been touching social media since I left, and that helped. I worked for around 3 hours a day, in China. For those of you who don't know where I went to China. And now I'm back in the US. Probably should have mentioned that. But like, while I was there, I tried to limit myself to 3 hours of work a day. Some days it actually worked, other days it didn't. But you know what happened? Bat Bunch, you guys know that I've been like an insomniac for a long time, right? This fixed my sleep schedule. I mean, it doesn't look like it because I'm up at 1 a.m. But in China, I didn't have to take anything for sleep. No medication, no melatonin, no nothing. The moment I wanted to go to sleep, I could just go to sleep in China. And I'm trying to figure out how to recreate that in the US. I think it's a combination of me just always being online, even before bed, plus, not moving enough during the day. Because that's the two things that really changed for me in China. It could also be diet related. Fun fact, I came back and I was like, oh man, you know, I missed American snacks while I was in China. the food was so good I barely had time to miss anything, but you know, being on a plane, that makes you miss any good food, right? So I was like, oh yeah, American snacks. Everything's too salty and sweet now. Everything in my American pantry is too salty or sweet after I come back from China. Maybe China can fix your sleep? Go to China, Kenny. But yeah. Made me realize how much, like, salt and sugar we have and stuff, right? But yeah, this is gonna be highly disorganized because I have been traveling for a long time and my brain is actually mush, but it's also rested mush. So, like, I got enough sleep, but clearly I need more rest, if that makes sense. I will have a proper stream showing highlights of my China trip, so I'm not really going to talk about my China trip too much tonight, but something I really really wanted to highlight was I feel a lot better after that trip, and I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, I always hate the mentality of like, oh, vacation's vacation and work is work. You burn yourself out until you need a vacation and then you feel better and then you go back to work and you feel awful again. No, I don't. I'm my own boss. So if there's things I can take from that experience and bring it into my work day in my everyday life, I'd love to. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, my sleep schedule got fixed in China. How can I bring some of that back to the US? Like, it's not feasible to not work, right? Or only work 3 hours a day. But are there things that I can do to, like, keep that streak with actual sleep happening? I only had 2 stress streams while in China as well. And the only 2 stress streams happened after I had a late night call. So usually in China I would work in the morning, right? And I wouldn't work at night, but there was this one exception where I needed to be prepared for a meeting at 5 a.m. So I needed to have all my notes and the email template ready for the client. So I was like, oh, I can work late that night and then sleep and then wake up at 5 a.m. and then I'll already have my notes and my email template all ready to go. That was the night that I couldn't sleep well because I worked right before bed again. So that's one thing. I need to take with me some good boundaries regarding no work before bed. Which is kind of hard because, like, before I went to China, the way I kind of worked was I'd wake up, I'd immediately get on my computer, see all the things I missed, respond to emails, respond to messages, and then when that work kind of dried up towards the middle of the day, then I would chill in the middle of the day. And then when I felt like, oh, okay, I've got enough chill time in the middle of the day, if I had any errands, I ran the errands, then I would go back to work until bedtime. So I don't know how to reschedule my day to have no work before bed. But it seems important. Hold on, I'm not trying to zoom out. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. That was one of the things that I was just like, oh, we gotta figure that out. That has ruled out, like, a lot of, like, more serious things. Like, I was like, oh no, is it like a bigger issue that I have, like, long-term insomnia and all that kind of crazy stuff? No. I think it's just work stress. Haha, because it got fixed pretty easily, which is great. You know, it means it's not as serious as I was worried it was. But at the same time, now it means I have to figure out how to restructure my days. I still work the best in the morning, so I can still definitely hop right on the computer. But there's gonna have to be a line in the sand in terms of how late can I work in the day before the stress dreams and insomnia leak into my evening. I need like a evening wind down, no one talk to me time. So we're gonna have to figure that out. The other thing I really noticed about myself was, I really put a ton of pressure on myself to be like the VTuber tutorial lady and stuff, because I was just like, oh, I gotta get these scripts done, And then, you guys, the funniest thing happened. I got inspired for a completely different script that was not educational at all. And it made me realize how much I miss just being a silly person who does silly stuff. I think a lot of older Bat Bunch members remember that I used to do like a lot of game streams, and I used to like try to balance the two of like, okay, we're being serious, we're being educational, but also I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild naked, or I'm gonna you know, play a stupid Sonic game with Ocus. And at some point, I dropped all of that because I didn't have time anymore, with the way I've been working. But I got in, I saw a really bad movie in China. It's like a great bad movie though, called Niolai. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to make a video on this so bad. So, we're gonna make some whimsy content, we're gonna make some silly content. And I think if I can figure out how to... Man, if I can figure out how to package my work in less hours of the day, I would really love to do more silly content again. Oh, right, Breath of the... Link was naked! Hey, Spidey, you don't know if I was naked or not playing... That's the beauty of VTubers. It's the so bad it's good kind. Yes, it's the cow movie. I watched that with Leo on Chinese Valentine's Day, and it changed my life, and I really want to, you know, give you guys the play-by-play. But I also want to start doing silly content in Mandarin at the same time. So like if I can do a little video script that's short enough and just record it in English for YouTube and then in Mandarin for Bilibili and then just have uploads separate, I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that I've thought about starting a Bilibili for a while, and I told myself, number one, my educational content won't really translate well because I'm not good enough of a translator. And number two, I don't have time for like unique uploads to a whole nother platform. So I was just like, I'm not gonna start Bilibili. However, at some point I was just like, oh, the reason I don't really like uploading is because I'm not having fun. And I think of it as part of my job. Oh, isn't that the whole reason, like, I wanted to be a hobbyist VTuber in the first place, was so that I didn't think of things like that? Oops, I think I, like, locked myself in a... There's no... that's the wrong saying. It's not locked myself in a ditch. I can't think of a saying, but I hope you guys can kind of parse what I mean. I feel stuck. You know? And I've been talking about how I feel stuck, but time away from like social media really helped me pinpoint what the feeling is. I feel like you know, I'm locked into a niche, kinda, yeah. I mean, educational content is still gonna be my niche because you need a niche, right? But definitely making like being like, okay, I still need to make time for the silly stuff because that's what I like to do. So like I was just like, okay, definitely we're gonna make time for the silly content again. I would really, really love to bring back gaming streams. I'd really, really love to bring back, you know, more community interactions. AJ, I've been praying for you so much. I hope you're doing well. I'm praying for peace for you tonight. I hope you sleep really well. My trip was great. Thank you so much. Oh, I bet those T-sips are loud. I'm sorry, guys. I have a headset mic today, so mic is right next to the T-sips. But yeah, that's another big thing that I wanted to change was like, okay, let's make use of this second channel. Let's really bring the silly back. And then the second channel on YouTube will be for silly uploads. And then Billy will be also for silly uploads. Just in Mandarin, but it's the same things. Because I don't see that there's gonna be a lot of crossover of those audiences, you know? I just don't see it happening. Yeah. Because I know people are looking on like, okay, Billy is going international. How are we going to integrate this? Can we dual stream? I'm like, as someone who's been watching Billy for years, I don't think that I'm going to dual stream ever. Yeah. You kind of need to make exact content for Billy unless you are someone who can repurpose content with like an editing narrative really well and then also have the time to translate it all in Mandarin. People just really want alternatives. Understandable. I think if I wasn't in China, I'd be crashing out a lot during that time about the YouTube changes. I am crashing out a lot about the YouTube changes, but I was just like, oh, wait till I'm back to really process that. But it definitely made me realize, okay, Yam, you thought this whole, like, YouTube thing was a temporary career. But for some reason, the Lord just wants you here. Still here. I'm still a VTuber manager. It is helping though, guys. I'm happy to say that during my China trip, my body was very, almost completely reliable. And, I think by having a job that supports my chronic illness, I am going in a positive direction. And so I would hate to ruin that by like being like, okay, I had a good month, time to go back to work, you know, in person and like go back to dog grooming. I don't think that's wise. I think continuing with a job that supports my chronic illness is gonna be the way to go. But I think we can also make some tweaks to make it even better. For instance, the whole insomnia thing, I need a cutoff point every night. I need a cutoff point where I am no longer Yam Albat and I'm not a VTuber manager. I'm just redacted name, and I need to like completely wind down and not think about work until the morning again. So that's one change I really need to make. And a second change is something I've realized with the changes at YouTube is they want that conveyor belt moving, guys. They really don't want evergreen content anymore. They're not going to push out evergreen content. You need that treadmill to be rolling. And that freaks me out. So instead of making YouTube part of my job, I'd rather make YouTube the fun part and monetize off platform. I hate to bring that up because, like, this whole time I've just been like, okay, you know what? Yam, you're not gonna, like, be the kind of creator to milk your audience dry and, like, expect them to pay subscriptions upon subscription. So I haven't really experimented with off-platform support before. That being said, I think I have an idea as to how to make it beneficial for the people who want to support me in a way that doesn't add too much work for me. And how much should I... I'm clearly tired, so it's probably not going to come out well, and, like, obviously I should make, like, an official announcement and stuff. But I think what I want to do is have a bit of a VTuber Help series. Not called VTuber Help. That's Kenny's thing. Hehe. But, VTuber Help series where I, like, help a VTuber, either live or almost live but edited in a show kind of thing, where I give them direct advice, and, you know, everyone can kind of learn from those sessions, and the VTuber gets direct feedback. I don't know if you guys know, and I, like, hate to compare it to this, but, like, do you guys, like, know of this show called The Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer? Don't like the guy. His humor is not for me, but I can see why the series works, right? I can analyze it. People who want a kick in the pants to get their finances in order would want to watch something like The Financial Audit, right? What if we took the appeal of someone who wants to grow as a creator, looks at a VTuber who's kind of in the same boat as them, and gets to take the advice from that series? So I think the best way to handle it... Yeah, I've been meaning to start watching his show. I think the old episodes are good, but it's not what it used to be, you know. Also, A-Turn, I forgot to mention, but thank you so much for the sub, the continued sub. But anyways, it's a really mean-spirited show now, and it's just, it bums me out. But I legitimately benefited from the show early on, if that makes sense. There's a few channels like Caleb Hammer which are less provocative, actually. Send them to me, Kenny, because I'd really love to figure out and kind of, like, dissect that formula. So I think what I would do is probably do a mixture of private classes, and then public workshops, all under the same price. So, like, private classes for VTubers who are looking to learn, and then if anyone wanted to bring their channel on publicly, I could kind of dissect their channel in my series. And, like, as many months as they want to learn from me, they can continue to you know, I haven't figured out what platform I want to do it on, but they can continue to pay that flat rate for my help. Because right now, the way I operate is I have full-on VTuber management, and then I have one-time consultations. And I'm like, what if I can offer something where I can help a lot of people at once so that I can, you know, make it more feasible for me to continue to make this my job without asking everyone to shell out my consultation rates every time they want to ask me a question, for instance. I don't know how exactly I'm going to implement it, but that might be a change to my job that makes this just a bit more mentally feasible, because just having clients, it's a lot of upkeep. And if I can just like keep on keeping on and people can like either tune in or not tune in, they can support me for the month that they need help, and then they can leave, and then they can support me again when they need more help. And it all being automated through like one of those platforms, it might just be better. It might just be a little easier on me. And then the benefit is the public workshops also serve as advertisement for that service. So that might be the way I go forward. Instead of just taking on like big pro clients. But I don't know, I haven't exactly, you know, formulated it in my head. I just had a lot of time to think. And I'm just yapping at 1:33 a.m. But yeah, definitely something I'd like to try. I'd love to help with setting this up if you do need— oh my gosh, Kenny, I do need help. I would love help with this. Thank you very much. I will hit you up on that. The other thing that, you know, I noticed when I was in China was just like, and this is like the obvious thing, right? Is like, oh, no Twitter. And at first it was like, ugh, so itchy, no Twitter. And then like towards the end of the month I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to go back to Twitter because I'm going back to the United States. Oh no, you know, so it did make me realize I do dread Twitter. Not just Twitter, I dread social media a little bit. I was just like, oh no, I have to like keep up with minuets. You know, I have to keep up with minuets, social media, I have to keep up with my social media. I need a— if I'm gonna do this whole like lean more into being a VTuber coach kind of thing, should I then like legitimately advertise myself? I feel like I'm like I'm terrible at advertising myself. And then it's just like, well, frick, I have to actually do social media again. So that's the part of my job that I don't like, but I can't be like, ah, yes, I'm gonna live free as a bird, free from social media. It doesn't work that way. But yeah. How was the social media detox? Fantastic. The itch is currently gone. I only dread social media right now, except for obviously streaming. I really wanted to stream. I was on Chinese social media, so I was on Bilibili and Xiaohongshu. And it was just a lot of fun getting to be a consumer of like fun media again. No, like, hey VTubers, just an FYI, this guy stinks, or hey VTubers, if you do XYZ, you're a terrible person. you know, that kind of thing. Eterno says, I like the idea of a VTuber help series. A thing to be mindful of is the possibility of your guests being hesitant to actually accept and implement your advice. Do you think that you'll be able to directly and professionally address the flaws and issues your guests are unwilling to address? Eterna, unfortunately, that is more of like a personal character thing, and I'm not a therapist. You know? At the end of the day, I take or leave, they can take or leave advice. I'm gonna give the advice, and, you know, them being unwilling to potentially, like, accept the advice is kind of beyond my pay grade. They could go to my boyfriend, Leo. He just graduated, so, you know, he's certified. Alphonse, thank you for the subscription. How is everyone? All of my, like, a lot of my, normal people up at 1:38 a.m. Honestly, whenever I visit my Soseika account, which is all what VTuber Help is under, the feed is all resources and positivity. That's awesome. My main feed is it exists. Oh, Kenny, I can't even imagine your main feed. Because everywhere else it's 4 a.m. Guys, y'all need a trip to China. Just finished the second draft of a song tonight? That's excellent, Eterna. Oh, that's the other thing, and I have to, like, share this. This is a weird thought, and I don't know how to... Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I will feel like, maybe I'll feel like it, like, after I settle in again, but I did not miss music while I was gone. I did not miss... I had a composition project, so I did compose music while... Or not, sorry. Wow. Rewind. I had an orchestration and arrangement job. So I did get to do some music while I was in China. But, generally, I didn't touch my viola, I didn't really touch any other music stuff, and I didn't miss it. And that signifies to me that I am burnt out on music right now. Which signifies to me that, Minuet's Overture concert was too much work on me. But I'm glad that I'm really glad that the Off-Kai performance happened. I learned a lot in terms of my own workload and what is the most work and what I don't want to do, all by myself moving forward. You know, it's part of the responsibilities I took on was just too much, you know. Yeah, it was a lot of work. So, I'm currently pretty burnt out on music. I kinda just want to do silly streams for a while. I will continue, obviously, keeping up with Minuet's, schedule, but I don't think I'm gonna go above and beyond or even practice viola right away. The vacation was definitely needed. Hilariously, I came home and my room was still exploded with all of the stuff I got from Off-Kai, which is very funny, okay, because I kind of forgot that I literally put down my bags from Off-Kai, took up my bags to China, and then immediately went to China. How long was I in China for? I was in China from the beginning of the month till now. So, about a month. And so my bags from Off-Kai were still there, which means all of my flyers and my freebies and stuff. I live in a, you know, supportive household. My parents wear my merch. My dad will come in while I'm working and he'll be like, Yamelbat, how's the internet today? You know, they're very supportive. That being said, I don't really let them in on how spicy the rest of the VTuber community is. They know Yamelbat is wholesome, and I wear clothes like this, and I'm just a silly kind of bat girl on the internet, and their perception is hopefully still that I just help other silly people who just want to be goofy on the internet, and there's no, boba milk tea or milkshake involved, you know? I don't think- I think my cover is blown, guys, because I, just kind of left my Offkai stuff strewn about my whole room. On the desk and on the nightstand, as well as on the bed. Well, my siblings had a sleepover while I was in China, which is fine, cause like they can use my room, right? More space to sleep. Haha. Looks like Yam didn't clean up. So I just found all my Offkai stuff in a neat little pile on my desk. And let me tell you, some of the designs on the posters and the bags and stuff that, you know, I got handed at Offkai, I am sorry, my family, that I'm sorry that I didn't put the waifu materials away before I went to China, and you had to put them in a neat little pile. Yeah. So... Yam's grounded. I think my parents are probably just confused as to what my job is now, and I'm gonna say, like, oh, so thank you for cleaning up my Offkai stuff. And if they say something, I can explain, and if they don't say something, we'll just move on. But yeah, I came straight from Offkai. I didn't even really look at the Offkai stuff because I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted after Offkai, I have no idea what's even in that pile. I gestured to the pile that you can't even see, you know. I'm curious now, what is your writing process like for Minuet? You don't have to answer if you wish to keep this secret, of course. My thought process involves a desire to reduce your mental burden in this field. Okay, depends on if it's a cover or an original. The first thing I do with the cover is type in the name of the song to MuseScore to see if there's a piano reduction. If there's a piano reduction, fantastic. I will take that piano reduction, I will read the chords and kind of be like, okay, here's the melody, here's the chords, and then I will interpret that into the instrumentation that we have. If we are doing a cover and there is no sheet music, I am comfortable sometimes somewhat writing parts by ear, but usually melody and harmony. If someone asks me to write like full instrumentation off of a piece by ear, it takes me a very long time, so I never recommend it. That being said, Meister's better at that stuff. He can get MIDI from instrumentals, so he's gonna teach me how to use that to kind of speed up that process, right? So basically, I write the parts for the instrumentalists and sometimes vocalists. Oh my gosh, my vocal parts are so bad. I have a lot to learn in terms of making things comfortable to sing. But anyways, after that, then you know, Meister and I come together. He usually works on the rest of the instrumentalist stuff separately. So, you know, once I have the parts, I hand him the parts, and then he can, you know, from that context, finish his instrumental. And then Meister also, after everyone records, Meister and Princess to some extent will do like the production at the end of it. So it goes me first, where I do like part writing, and then I also record, and then the rest of the Minuet members kind of finish. I hope that makes sense. The problem with the concert, though, was that we didn't have a ton of time from the time that Offkai approved us to have a panel to the point of performing. And fitting an hour of music into that context with that many people just was too much work. Even though we had an additional arranger with Enva, it was still too much work. I think both Enva and I kind of, we both looked at each other and were like, so either we keep the roster down, or we get more arrangers, or we do less music next year. Like, something has to give, because it was too many parts for an hour of time and only 2 arrangers. That was kind of where the bottleneck was with the arrangers. Because meanwhile, you gotta figure out all the logistics with Offkai while you're arranging the music and stuff. That being said, we have made a lot of connections from that concert. So I don't think we will have to put on that production all alone again. So I think I will have more help next time. That being said, I don't know if I can afford to go in April again. If you need an additional arranger, hit me up. I'm mostly used to writing my own music, but I'm eager to expand my skill set. Heck yeah, Eterna. Definitely. I think that, you know, by the time I was drowning in the first concert, you had offered to help, but like the point I expressed my discomfort, it was already kind of, I was knee deep in, and it was like the final stretch already. But I'll definitely, if there is like too much arranging to happen before a concert or something, I will definitely, you know, let you know ahead of time. April date is unfortunately too close, right? So I'm like, how do we do this? There are musicians who have contacted Minuet and are like, we would love to do, you know, more with you guys and make the next concert like even better. And I'm like, okay, that's great. San Jose. The trip to San Jose was more expensive for me, and to be fair, I did not pay for my transportation to China, but like if you do the math on like the hotel and the food and like just surviving, being in China for like a month is like equivalent to the San Jose 5-day trip. You know, that's how financially crazy going to Offkai is. So I'm like, not only is it like a lot of physical strain, but because it's so packed into those like 5 days of like travel and then do all this stuff at Offkai and then perform and then travel back, It's not that I didn't have fun, okay? It was just too much. It was really, really too much. So what I'm thinking of is if I do want to go to Offkai, I think I will try to crowdfund it, starting early. I'll probably have like a little bar at the top of all my streams if I decide to go, like, budgeting for Offkai, if anyone wanted to, like, donate to that in the coming months. I could do that. But I still haven't decided if, like, that's gonna be... Even if, like, the financial was completely taken care of, which I still feel bad, especially if I'm going to start monetizing content, like the VTuber Help series. If I'm already doing, like, monetized content, right? Do I really want to crowdfund my Offkai expenses on top of that for my fans to pay for? Only for a limited amount of them to actually get to see me there. Does that make sense? It's... I don't know. And I live in the state Offkai takes place in. That's the other crazy thing. Like, all of this, I live close enough to Offkai to do like a one-day drive. And I split the hotel with a lot of people. And it's still so much. Yeah, I'd have to stay with family in the Central Valley if I were to go to Offkai. I still have my Bay Area toll tag from the express lines there. They have uncommon driving stamina, but I'm uneasy about the cost of booking a hotel in San Jose. And here's the thing. Okay. Sorry, we're getting spicy at 2 a.m. with Yam Albat. Claude just said I was in a call by myself. Somewhere in Discord, I was in a call by myself for more than 5 minutes. That's okay, whatever. That was creepy. Anyways, let me zoom in for comedic effect, because here we go. I hate the hotels in San Jose. Eterna, please sleep. Yes, it's just gonna be silly, goofy. I don't like the hotels in San Jose. I'm sorry. I am a Californian. I've been to other cities. I've been to other chain hotels from the same, like, Marriott and Hilton and the other one is the Westin, right? They're so expensive. There's no parking. And I don't like staying there. Am I prissy? I don't know. It just feels like if I'm paying an arm and a leg just to, like, share a bed and, like, stuff, you think that the bathroom would have a lock, but the bathrooms were just like a walk-in closet with, like, a giant gap, so, like, it was like you had to tell people, like, okay, I'm getting changed, okay, I'm using the bathroom, please do not come in. Like, it's not a fun hotel situation, you know. The one I was at was pretty alright. Yours was pretty bad, though. Yeah, I don't know. For the amount I'm paying, and, like, all my friends have to, like, pool together just so that we can do that, you know? It's just like, I don't know. Like, can we have some, I don't know. They're mediocre hotels at best, right? And I don't need like 5 stars. I can rough it. But at the same time, with my condition, if I'm going to, you know, make Offkai happen, and I'm paying so much for an okay hotel and just not a great experience outside of the few parts of the con that makes it super worth it. I don't know. You know, it's just not easy to navigate, and like if you can walk a lot and like figure out the public transport, it probably is a lot more fun. If you like to go outside, it's probably a lot more fun. But for me, because of like how my body works, all my friends go out and have fun, and I work, I network for my talents, I perform, and then the rest is me in a hotel room. And me in a hotel room alone if Leo doesn't come, and he's not going to come next year. If I do go, he has to work. So I would be like me in a hotel room for the majority of Offkai. Part of me would rather have like a virtual appearance, right? Because then I can be like, yep, I was there for the fans who saw me there. And then, you know, be in my home and didn't have to pay so much money just to, you know, have a fan appearance for an hour. I think performing is amazing. I absolutely love performing. It's just everything around the performance that made me like, honestly, Offkai 2028 is the main reason I'm trying to accrue PTO hours. The dream is to cosplay the model I should have by that point. That's so cool. Why does Discord... Oh, it's in the... Oh my gosh, it's in the YouTube video. Wait, hold on. Can you guys see this? I was scared that this... Can I point? Can I point? Yeah, I was scared that this was my computer and somehow I was in a call alone. And I was like scouring Discord. Anyways, let's switch. We can switch streams. Oh my gosh. That completely derailed me. But maybe I just feel this way because, you know, maybe I just feel this way because I got burnt out from Offkai. And maybe like a few months from now I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I would love to go to Offkai. Even worse, I think I'm going to feel incredible FOMO when the rest of Minuet and like all the friends surrounding Minuet want to go to Offkai. Right? Like I'm probably gonna be arranging music for people to go to Offkai and then I don't go myself. That's also gonna feel bad. But at the same time, just like the nature of me being me, if I do go to Offkai and I go to Offkai alone, I can't leave the hotel room much with my ability, right? So then I feel left out no matter what. I forgot if we spoke about it, but you didn't have con block? So basically, it sold out like immediately, yeah. FOMO hit me this year. I really want to go next year. I have enough people who want to meet me to make it worthwhile, right? There are always more people who ask me to meet up with me than I have the... No, like it wasn't provided to me? No. No, it was not. And I'm trying to be in I'm trying to be in contact with Offkite earlier this year so that I can try to have it provided. That being said, it's not provided to any of my clients, so it wouldn't be provided to me, you know? My one client who did have, you know, provisions from Offkai, was virtual and not there physically. So yeah. I think you really needed the rest and relaxation. There's no shame in relaxing. Yeah. So, like, if I do go to Offkai, there's always a lot of people who want to meet me, and it feels worthwhile. Do tell me how you navigated that, Autumn. I would love to know. But you know, what was I saying? They offered it? Oh, that's nice. Must be nice. Must be nice. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Oh, right. Rest and relaxation. So there's always so many people who want to hang out with me at Offkai. And it feels equally bad to tell them, I'm sorry, but I literally can't. I'm here, but I'm in a hotel room. And I just have to, like, rest instead of hanging out with you. Like, I don't even have, like, a, oh yeah, no, I'm busy. No, it's just like, I am literally here, but I'm sorry, I can't go out karaoke. I'm sorry, I can't do this, I can't do that. That doesn't feel great either, you know? Those just like, I don't know, maybe my body will be good by then, but there's just a lot of factors where I'm just like, do I raise money to go to Offkai? Do I not? Would it be worth it? The performance alone is worth it, but the rest I'm not sure. You know? Let's go. I think the EP is setting in because I finally stopped yapping. I'm gonna take my melatonin now, Bat Bunch. We'll see if we can trick myself into falling asleep. I'm still up in the air about whether I will be able to afford to attend Offkai in 2028. I plan to reattempt college this upcoming spring semester at earliest, out of my own pocket. Hopefully I get a promotion between now and then, but the college tuition will be not be cheap. And here's the other thing is, like, I'm trying to start my life with my boyfriend as well, you know? Like, we're looking towards the future. And, you know, the next step in a relationship for us would be, you know, planning a wedding. And obviously weddings aren't cheap. We are an international couple, so international travel wouldn't be cheap. I'm off to my gym session. Have a good time, Spidey. And the reality is, like, some people have the best weekends of their life at Offkai, and other people have, like, the most, like, wow, I thought people would actually want to hang out with me, but turns out I'm, like, the least important friend. You know? And, like, I am thankful that my friends do take time to, like, hang out with me, even though I'm pretty much very restricted in what I can do and how much I can do. I do have friends who legitimately are like, meet Yam where she is, and, you know, I'll hang out with her a bit before I go do my fun, like, crazy party, drink, smoke, karaoke, debauchery stuff. Not judging my friends. I'm just saying that's like the stuff I can't do or don't do, you know? And just like, those are the, like, we deserve to be judged. Oh my gosh. But like, I appreciate them for doing that. And I appreciate it a lot, right? Oh, there's ads. Ugh. I need to figure out how to navigate ads. Anyways, like I appreciate my friends when they do that, but like at the same time, I don't want them to do it too much. I don't want to like take up the time that they planned to be you know, a lot of them flew all the way to California. There's stuff to do in California that's fun for people who have, you know, the time and the energy to actually go out and do those fun things, right? Even if I can't do it, I want them to do it. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm so much better suited to hanging out with my friends virtually than in person. So, like, I don't know. Do I make the trip? I will have to decide when it's not 2 a.m. and I just got off the plane, you know? And I wonder if it's good to have like a hybrid situation where it's like I'm there virtually so I can maybe leave early so it's not as expensive. So like maybe like a concert and then like, okay, the concert's over, I get to go home. But then I would have to travel separately from my friends, because obviously my friends want to stay the whole time. I don't know. Obviously, I'm just yammering. It's crazy that, you know, there's so many people who want to talk to me and hang out with me. Never expected that to be a thing in my life. So it's like complaining about like, oh, Afkai is so exhausting because so many people want to talk to me and I can't talk to all of them. That sounds like a humble brag and stuff. But I'm telling you that like I could hang out with all of them online, but I can't hang out with all of them in person. But the whole point of Afkai is to hang out with them in person, you know? Gamma says, I feel like they would understand considering you call them friends. You'd be surprised. Okay, not calling any of my friends out. But you would be very surprised how different dynamics are when you go from online to in-person jump. It is a very big difference, and you just have to expect that difference. For instance, like, you know, let's say you guys play, like, I don't know any games. I saw Autumn in the chat, so I'm gonna say Overwatch. Haha, Autumn, you're an example again. So, like, let's say you play Overwatch with your friends, like, every Wednesday and Friday night. You guys are locked in, you guys are dedicated. Sometimes after the matches, you guys say, like, super deep secrets and, like, get really deep and stuff, and maybe there's even, like the best friendship feeling when you guys are together. And then for your birthday, one of them sends you, I don't know, like a Reinhardt figure. I don't know Overwatch. I'm sorry. Let's say like they send you like a sick Reinhardt figure and a Widowmaker t-shirt because they know that those are your two mains, and you know, they even knew your like birthday and they knew your t-shirt size, so it really feels like they really know you. You can literally come into like a physical room with these people, and suddenly like that feeling of commonality completely drains. Hi Carl, please sleep well. I know it's encroaching very late hours. I am jet lagged. I shouldn't be awake. I took my melatonin, so hopefully I go to bed soon too. But please take care of yourself. I know your illness has been bugging you, so I've been praying for you. But yeah, like, you can literally have so much in common with these people online, and then let's say you like invited them to your birthday party IRL, or let's say you're like meeting up at an anime convention or whatever. One of them could be a total like high energy party animal who's always surrounded by friends, and like you can't even get a word or two in because the moment they're with their like the moment they're out in public with people, they act completely different than they do in an Overwatch lobby. So it's like, oh, okay, suddenly I don't have an common ground with this guy because he's like surrounded by people who all want to talk to him at once, and they're all high energy people, and he's not like this at our Overwatch sessions. You know, he's really down to earth, but like apparently the moment he's with a bunch of people, he's a completely different guy. So you've got those people, and then let's say you're like, okay, that's okay, Overwatch has like multiple teammates, and my other teammate here is here. Let me like try and hang out with them. But like the anime convention scene is like way too overstimulating for that person. So they have the opposite problem where they're just like totally shut down and don't really want to do much there. That's kind of what Offkai's like, where it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm friends with these people, but you just have to expect very different dynamics when you're in person. And, I'm one of those people where it's like, I'm one way online, cause like online I feel like I'm completely, I feel like I'm completely, like, capable online, right? I feel like, online is perfect for me, because I can, like, show up when I want to show up. You don't see the, like, yucky part of Yam. You don't see the, you know, in bed, can't do anything part of Yam. And I like to say that I try to present myself as capable as possible online, right? But like when I'm in person with people, they're gonna see me in pain, they're gonna see me grumpy, they're gonna see me want space. They get to see the ugly parts of Yam that like don't come across online, you know? You say that, but that was literally me. I hung out with my team's manager and the other coach the most, and we had those exact people you described on our team, yeah. It's like degrees of physical separation. Yeah. So like I'm someone who's very different in person than online. Not by choice, you know. Personality wise I'm the same, but like this is like the good part of my personality, right? And then the other half of it is just like asking people to not make noise while I have my head buried in the covers for like 3 hours. You know? Or like, hey guys, I know we're all really having fun, but enter XYZ of why I need to go home, so you guys need to wrap it up. Um, you know, I have to be the fun ruiner a lot. And then when I am out of my house, out of my comfort zone, I have a ton of anxiety of like, do I have this? Do I have that? What if this happens? And so I'm just like a big ball of stress traveling. So like my friends don't get the like happy-go-lucky bat I'm online. They get the, oh crud, she has to like manage being alive this whole weekend kind of thing. And it's different, you know. Yeah, I think you put into words the reason why I could never form the metal band I wanted. I'm sorry. Yeah. It is what it is, but I'm just letting you guys know that like I'm a nice person everywhere outside of Twitter. That's funny, Kenny. I mean, even on Twitter, I feel like you're being reasonable. But you definitely say more than I would on Twitter, because I don't like conflict. But yeah, that's kind of like where I am in terms of off-Kai. It's probably too late, or too early for me to make a decision, right? If Minuet does get, like, the concert slot, I should go. You know? I'm still glad I got to see you in action walking around off-Kai. Thanks, Autumn. And you made it a lot brighter. When I left the prison, I had to really learn not to stare at everyone I looked at because I had to learn to let go of all the stress from 4 years, yeah. Lend your viola to me, I will play the viola. Heck yeah, Autumn, you can. I'll probably make my decision around February if it's not too late. I wish they announced guests much sooner. Yeah. No, not for Minuet concerts. Kenny is a, like, diehard VTuber fan, you know? Oh, you mean lend your viola for the Minuet concert? I mean, I have 2 violas, Autumn. You can take the student one. Haha. Need to get back into practicing singing now that I think about it. You know, I'm so glad that I know so many singers at this point that I don't have to, like, publish my own voice. I can just, like, do stupid karaokes. VTuber fan, I truly have become a VTweeter. I'm sorry, Kenny. I'm just talking about the fact that you probably want to do some meet and greets and stuff. Ugh. But yeah, no. I'm sure I probably just need some rest in my own house and to have a more measured expectation of off-Kai. Make sure that my friends don't expect beyond performance and attendance. And then I think I would enjoy off-Kai a bit more. Especially if honestly, Bat Bunch, you know what I really want to do? Other than a concert at off-Kai? I actually want an educational panel one of these days. I always apply. I've never gotten one. It would be great to just, like, help fresh VTubers out with, like, a concept. Either design or setting up for the first time, thinking of their character. I think that would make it really worth my while. But I could do that virtually. Funnily enough, I was born and raised in California, never moving back, but I do occasionally visit family, yeah. I think it might be because there's a lot of VTuber 101 applications all the time. Exactly. And, you know, people more qualified than me apply for those all the time. I try to, like, have a really unique angle on it, but the more unique, the more niche it is, and then you, like, kind of alienate your audience anyways, so it's just, yeah. But I'd love to do that at some point. And hey, maybe if I, like, get that VTuber Help series and, like, actually have classes for VTubers come off Kai time, maybe people would actually, you know, take me more seriously in that term. Because I'm basically applying off of videos from 2023, which, are of questionable quality. Oh, yay, I'm yawning! That's a good sign! Cons seem to want really crazy panels too, like wild out there ones. Yeah. Can I be- okay, we're being honest. Honesty hours with Yam Albat. Can I just say that you know, I respect people for the grind and, you know, all of that, but Offkai is no longer a family friendly. I don't know if it could ever be considered completely family friendly, but it is no longer a child's bring your children place at all. It's just so out there now. I think we just need to cut it off and say, hey, 18 and up. Because pretending like, you know, teens can safely attend this event is kidding ourselves at this point. So like, let's just make it 18 only. The big blue pillar. Yeah. I think that, you know, I really didn't feel comfortable with, like, that being in the center of the con, and meanwhile I see, like, a bunch of teenage boys running around, you know? I think everyone would be more comfortable if we just, like, said, okay, full stop, no minors. The audience influences what gets put on the floor. Yep, and I just have to accept that this is a very adult space that I work in. Is it my favorite? No. And I can, like, off the clock, off work, I'm gonna admit, I don't love 18 plus content. I think we could all guess that. I'm comfortable working with people who make 18 plus content. I can be very professional about it, but it is not my favorite. I don't want to engage with it. And I think that it can be harmful if left unchecked, you know? So, like, I think that at this point, Offkai just needs to, well, yeah, thanks for telling us we never would have guessed. But I honestly think Offkai is just kidding themselves if they think that, you know, they can have their cake and eat it too. I think at this point it's like, don't take money from minors for the con at all. Because if you're gonna have, you know, really prominent 18 plus VTubers during the day, I think the best thing is to just have things be 18 plus. Because honestly, and, you know, I don't want to be like the dress code police, but, you know, I also saw, you know, some VTubers who I think, you know, their designs are better served for an 18 plus audience as well, you know? So it's just like, everyone would be more comfortable if we drew that line in the sand, and I'm honestly wondering what they're gonna be doing for next year, because, yeah, I really want everyone to be safe and comfortable, and I don't think that, like, I don't think it's even fair for the 18 plus creators to be like, ah yes, I see a teenage boy in the line to meet me, and I don't allow minors into my audience. Now what? You know? strongly agree, especially with some of the female 3D VTuber outfits I've been seeing on Booth while I was looking for men's outfits. You know, it's gonna exist, you know, and we can make the content we want to make without, you know, necessarily coming after other people for the content they make, right? We can be professional about it and coexist. I'm not gonna police anyone, right? In fact, I can help people with their content regardless of, you know, what path they choose in terms of, like, audience. But yeah, at this point for, like, the in-person stuff, we really, if we don't want to, and you know, that VTuber community this, VTuber community that, this is the one time where I think it makes sense to actually address the quote-unquote VTuber community, because Offkai is the VTuber community, like, that's the target here. We just need to, you know, admit that it is an 18+ community for Offkai, at least. Whether the VTuber community is 18+ all across, y'all can decide, but specifically for Offkai, I would really appreciate if they drew that line in the sand. Yeah. Oh, it's EP. It's EP hours. Okay. Thank you for, like, letting me just, like, spit out all my thoughts that have been rattling in my brain. I'm very happy, though, Bat Bunch. I've been complaining because I'm sleepy and, like, whatever. Everything always devolves into complaining for me. Can you buy an Offkai pass if you're under 18? So, Autumn, you do need your guardian to help you buy it, but they don't need to actually stay with you for the event. Yeah, that's the weird thing. And then also they have, like, the wristband system for the buy market and the 18+ panels. But I don't know why, you know, I don't know why things happen the way they did with the Fansly booth, you know. Surely this is partly a parenting issue? Yeah, but I think a lot of, like, parents don't know. You know, like I said, I try and, you know, let my parents in on the positives of my job, but I kind of don't let them know. I don't let them know the saucy part. Because I think it would make them uncomfortable. And, you know, I can be professional about it, but, in a perfect world, I'd probably avoid it completely, you know? Gotta go, but I'm glad to hang out. Yeah! Alright, Autumn, take care. I should go soon, too, yeah. I wish it was kind of like how Ren fairs are run. Everyone knows exactly what it is, and it is what is and isn't appropriate, and everyone knows once the sun goes down, the kids gotta leave. Talk after about the hotel, though. Thank you for the reminder, yeah. Yeah, once the sun goes down, the kids gotta leave. That would be completely fair, right? I feel like in previous years at Offkai, it was like, okay, 18+ content is like the after dark content, and you don't mix the two. But, like, stuff with, like, the Fansly booth and stuff just was like, oh, that's a little, I wish that they were part of the 18+ part, you know? That's my gripe. But I think the easiest part is to just restrict it, you know? A lot of the shows will just tell you, hey, maybe don't have the young kids here if you don't want to have to explain some stuff. Yeah, I think that's maturely handled. But yes, I am very happy. I'm just sleepy. Um, Whether I go to Offkai in April or not is up in the air. Um, I would love performing. I don't know if the rest is worth it, but in terms of performing, I love performing. Um, but you know, there's more to life than, you know, than the one con a year. And if I can't do it, I can definitely plan. Yale's performance was so cool. It is very cool to, like, put something together like that. We will try and make it happen again. And maybe I just need to, like, plan around my illness a little better, you know? Maybe I do, like, hotel lobby meets with people instead of, like, forcing myself to go to the con floor every time I want to meet up with friends. Maybe, you know, we schedule things out better where I can meet more friends at a time so that it's not like this whole, you know, schedule of stuff. But, you know, I think that, we'll see. Take it a little at a time. I'm putting the cart before the horse here. But yeah, hopefully we can do more silly content together. Make me enjoy being a hobbyist again, because I was supposed to be a hobbyist. I keep telling myself that. While also making educational content that I can monetize so that I can keep improving my health. Because honestly, I'm very, very happy to report that being in China, I did not have that many health issues. I was able to do a lot more than I expected. I was able to see a lot, and although we didn't exactly go like hiking in the mountains, right, I was able to walk around and see a lot of streets and very interesting things with minimal health issues. So that gives me a lot of hope that if I continue to take care of myself, if I continue to set limitations on how much I overwork myself and set healthier boundaries, that I can continue to be able to do more. And the more I can do, the more satisfied I will be with, like, the quality of life I live. So, thank you guys for supporting me up until this point, and, you know, watching me recover from bat brain. But yeah, I will probably continue to just, like, yap for a bit. At some point, I will show you guys my vlog stuff from China. I just need to really sort out what is the safe footage to show and what is the, hey, maybe don't show this kind of footage, because I still would like to keep Leo's location a secret from you guys as well, you know, his hometown location. So we're just gonna be talking about very broad, I did this, I did that, not talking about where, you know. I really wonder what that is. I feel so much less fatigued and more physically well when I travel and get away from normal environment. Maybe it's just stress associated. Oh, that's the other thing. You know, for me, I came back here and I remembered, like, oh yeah, my room is a mess. There's off-kai materials, there's jury duty summons, there's all kind of stuff, and I'm just like, oh right, this is kind of like why I get drained fast. I live in a chaotic environment. So that's another thing I really need to work on changing. Is making my environment less chaotic so that it doesn't drain my energy just as like a passive debuff. I feel like I have a passive debuff of like, oh yeah, the floor is disgusting, and like I hate to like talk about like habits like this because it's like, oh no, Yam's a girl failure. I'm not a girl failure, okay? I'm a perfectly capable, becoming more capable woman who is, you know, looking to marry a man and have two capable adults in the relationship, right? So, no girl failure here. That being said, I could really work on my housekeeping skills, and part of it is just owning too much. I own too much. I need to cull my belongings, make it a much easier space to keep clean. Girl success Yam, exactly. You know what? If you call me a girl failure, you're banned. If you call me a girl success, I will appreciate you. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But yeah, you know, just like dust and dog hair and cobwebs and too many bills on the billboard, and like Kenny also mentioned, the like digital environment. I need to set boundaries with my digital interactions. So like, I think that this like coming back, I really need to be like, oh okay, I need to be in tune, like, oh okay, I feel more stressed, I'm not sleeping as well, like my joints are inflamed. Why is that, and how can I minimize it, you know? So that's gonna be kind of the thing for moving forward, is I think I'm gonna like definitely I've always had a very frugal mindset, right? Because it's like, when you are a chronically ill adult who does not want to rely on your parents for anything more than you have to, it's just like, I'm stretching every dollar. But sometimes I wonder if I could make more money if I just got rid of the extra stuff that I'm like, okay, well, what if I need to rebuy this someday? It's $8, you know? What if I got rid of the extra stuff and could work more hours because I got rid of the extra stuff? Then I'm actually saving money, even though I had to rebuy that thing that was $8, you know? So I think it's a motivation to change my habits and make things clean and be a girl success. No girl failure. I'm not gonna be a girl failure. I refuse to. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a good night. I hope that you guys can sleep. Sleeping at 3 a.m. is not a normal thing for Miss E.M. Elbat to do, but I really slept too much on the plane. I'm gonna blame it on that. I really slept too much on the plane. Which is great, because then you sleep through the, like, uncomfortable part of the trip. But yeah, now I have the task of falling asleep so I can wake up and do some work tomorrow. I'm really gonna push on making sure that my environment is good, and that I have space to be silly again. So expect that. I'm gonna try and work on the educational series and trying to formulate how to make it monetizable content that is fair, so that everyone feels like they benefit from it existing. And then lastly, I'm going to be opening a Bilibili and double dipping content on the second channel with content in Bilibili. Second channel will be in English, and the Bilibili will be me speaking Mandarin. And we'll go from there. I think Neolai is a great way to start being silly. So, yeah, I will have to get to work on all that. Thanks for keeping me company so late at night. I hope to not make this a regular occurrence, but I was just like, heck it, I can't sleep. I gotta yap, you know, until I have nothing else to talk about. So that's exactly what I did. Yeah. Thank you, Bat Bunch. It's great to be back. You'll see me live again soon. And I will try to update you guys on my progress. But yeah, thank you for your support. And hope you guys have a great night. Praying for your sleep. And let's all better ourselves together. Alright. Thank you everybody so much for watching. And as always, take care, Bat Bunch.